So, something I have noticed a lot on the internet, different forums and whatnot, there's people always asking questions on how do I route the belt, what's the belt routing for my specific deck. Now generally, they have a diagram of it somewhere on the deck. This one does not. It maybe was here where the paint's wore off, I don't know, but it's not here. So, it can look a little intimidating with all these pulleys and whatnot if you've never done it before. But one thing to make sure that you're doing it right is, you see these pulleys here that are flat, those are all idlers. So they don't perform any function other than keeping the belt tight and routing it the direction they need to route it, so that the drive ones that drive the blade are spinning the same direction. So in order to make sure that you get this right, the key thing to remember is, if the pulley is flat, the belt rides on its back on that pulley. If it's a V pulley, the V portion of the belt has to sit in there. So the V pulleys do the driving, they do the actual work, and the flat pulleys are just to either redirect the belt or keep it tight, or both. So, having said that, this one in here comes off the engine. We'll start there. That one is a V pulley, so the V portion of the belt goes on there. So there we're started there. And I believe this one goes this way. That's a flat pulley, so the belt will ride on its back on that one. There's a V, so it goes the other way. Same with this one here. That's a V. Because this is a 3-blade machine. So there you got that one on there. That one is flat, so it goes this way. Feed it in there. That one is a V, that's another blade. That one goes there. And then this one, I think, goes like so. This is the one that does most of the tensioning. I guess we got to go from underneath. So we'll wind that one on there. Careful you don't get your fingers caught. And then that one, I think that's right, isn't it? I don't know. It seems right, but I don't know about this here. I don't like that. That can't be right because... So there's what we have. But I think we got something wrong here, because that one, you don't want that rubbing on there. That'll ruin that. That's not right. So I have done something wrong here. What would I... Oh, okay. So this, I think this has to be on this side of that. Instead, it comes across the back of the pan here and rides there. I got it on this side by mistake. So that's the only thing we did wrong. That's not a huge problem. We'll fix that. Stand by. Alright, there we are. So that was just my mistake. It doesn't goes straight across here. So what you've got is this way, V pulley, and you see how they ride on their back on the flat ones. That's just to redirect it. And then this one here with the spring on it is the actual tensioner. Alright, so there's your tensioner, which has this spring on it, and this is actually pretty slick. You pull that all the way and it goes past 90 and it locks against there, which keeps it nice and snug, and that gives you your belt tension, right? So that's cool. So even though we didn't have a picture, we were able to figure it out fairly easily, because as long as you keep in mind that the V pulleys have the V part of the belt in them, and the flat pulleys have the back of the belt, the flat part of the belt riding on them, you should be able to figure out how to route it. It'll just take your time, and it has to make sense to you. And in the end, it has to be relatively snug, otherwise you may have done something wrong. So there we have it, brand new belt. That's ready to go.